welcome to Geek Syndicate episode 318. What are we doing? What we always do, bringing the sass back to geekdom. I am Monts, and with me, as always, is...
I feel weird. Dave?
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah, you've been transformed.
Something's not right.
So, what's... Oh, Barry, you've turned into a bobblehead.
I'm not right. Something feels odd.
I can't even... You're odd. That's the only
Is everyone there? Can everyone see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
I'm going to have a drink. I feel better now.
What is wrong with you, man?
Hey, all.
Yeah, it's the Nuge.
Hey, look, man, with CG post-production, that took me at least 2 years set up.
2 years set up, of course. So for those of you who may be just listening to the podcast, Barry is so vain, he's got a bobblehead of himself.
Actually, isn't a bobblehead of myself. See, this is the sort of racist bullshit that's going on at the moment, right? Sue bought me this, so I'm going to tell you the story, right? Sue bought me this for my birthday, right? And I had loads of people going, "Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that cute? Look, it's a model of you. Isn't that cute?"
That was literally my first thought, I'll be honest.
It's not a model of me. That is... Does anyone in the chat room want to guess? Just have a guess. Just thank you, and
it says Cheedy from The Good Place.
Yes, Cheedy from The Good Place. It ain't rocket science, and yet most people seem to think. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
First time I saw it, I was like, "What? Sue is the gift maestro."
I mean, she still is
an action figure of himself.
Because her thought process was, we both loved the Good Place. I really love Cheedy. And then she saw it and she's like, also, it looks a bit like Barry. So it was a win-win. That was her thought process. I was like, yep. And that's why we got married. That's obviously not the only reason we got married. Love and all that nonsense.
Love and all that.
You know, all the cool kids are doing.
Okay.
So how you doing, man?
Yeah, no, all right. It's yeah, I don't even know, man. It's been a hell of a week.
It's been emotional, as Vinny would say.
It has. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Anyway, there's enough doom and gloom going on in the world. Let's talk geek shit. Let's talk geek stuff, just in case Kara's sitting behind Amy or Ant.
Yeah. Let's talk geek stuff. So in that case, it's time
for shout-outs.
For shout-outs. That's what I meant.
Man. To be fair, yeah, I have got a shout-out. I've got a shout-out to Aaron Lee and an apology. So in last week's episode, I talked about Star Trek Discovery, and we had a big debate about it. And in the editing process, I actually edited out the person who actually asked the question in the first place.
Harsh.
Which was harsh. So that was Aaron Lee. So I just want to give a big hail up to Aaron even. And thanks for your question, Aaron. Much appreciated.
I've got a shout out.
Okay.
But I've forgotten who it's to.
Right. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to all the people in the chat room. So that's Amy and Jimmy. Thanks for coming along, guys. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just looking for the person, but I can't find it. So
Jeez, I would have quit by now.
Yeah, I've quit. Okay, I'm back. It's to a woman who started to follow me for the race stuff and then realised that I was a geek and went double win. I'm like, to you, woman, whatever your name is.
Just way to bring in those female geeks, Dave.
Yes.
Great, yeah. You just roll on.
That's how I roll, man. That's how I bring them in.
Over a cliff.
That's how I roll, over a cliff.
Just get to the D's.
No.
Cheedy Nuge says no. Cheedy Nuge says wait. What's that, Cheedy?
Oh, dear Lord.
Cheedy wants to say big thanks to everyone who has donated to the show since last week and bought us a virtual cuppa over on Ko-Fi. Was it Kofi?
Kofi.
Not to be confused with Kofi Annan, the UN Secretary General. What's that, Cheedy? Yeah. Okay. Cheedy says it's time for the news.
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 All right, who's going first?
I want to go first.
Go on then. When you say it like that, I get
So,
worried.
so I won't say who put this tweet out. So I'll just say that there was discussion going on about a particular film. I'll tell you what the film is in a minute. And the tweet that followed is, well, to you guys, it's a couple of hours of entertainment. To me, it's my life work going through a meat grinder when I pleaded with them not to do it. So yeah, but it's fine, all fine. We're going to fix it soon. I have not seen the movies and don't plan on ever doing so. I judge them from having read the scripts because I care most about the story. I certainly have nothing against the very talented actors. Not their fault. I'm sorry they just got dragged into that mess.
What is that about?
So, and apparently this guy said this loads of times over the years. So this is Rick Riordan, who is the author of the Percy Jackson novels.
Oh wow!
So they did 2 Percy Jackson films, didn't they?
Yeah.
This guy basically, this is the author. And he said, and basically he's just ripped them a new one about the films.
What?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Apparently he has said this over the years, but I only stumbled across it today, and I was just like, wow, way to go, man.
Did not hold back.
Yeah. I think part of the reason this is coming up is apparently he's working with Disney to do it as a TV series now.
Right.
And I want to say it's going to be like 5 episodes of the first book. So it will cover the first book, which is Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
But I just found it with social media these days, more and more, I think, I say celebs, but kind of creative people and stuff are a lot more open about their work, and certainly a lot more open from the point of view of when you F up their work. And normally you don't really get that, not until sort of I think it's 10 years ago, Lightning Thief came out. Now I've read the first Percy Jackson book and I've seen the first film, and yeah, there are quite a few differences. It has to be said.
You sound very diplomatic in that sentence.
To be honest, I wasn't necessarily. I didn't love the book anyway, so I wasn't really that invested. It isn't like the whole how I think I'm going to be in a few days' time when Artemis Fowl lands and I watch that. I feel like once that lands, I feel like I'm going to be losing my shit.
You're actually going to watch it?
I'm going to watch it. I am going to watch it. I've gone back and forth on it, but there's that part of me. It's like when you come out of KFC late at night and there's a fight kicking off. You know, from back in the day, and you kind of you got that kind of no, but you got that moment where you got your bargain bucket and a fight's kicking off, and you kind of there's a part of you that wants to go home. You've had a few drinks, you want to go home, but there's a fight kicking off.
You want to see how it goes,
and you kind of want to see how it goes down. So you end up hanging about, chatting to a few people in the crowd, and see how the fight goes. And this is kind of how I feel about Artemis Fowl. I kind of want to see just how bad it is, or it might surprise me and it might be great. I don't know.
It would appear we've garnered quite a bit of interest, Marty.
You think I'm ready?
Welcome to the family business.
Well, I remember doing that, and she toured the studios. A new one was Ursula Le Guin.
This is the Wizard of Earthsea stuff, isn't it?
So she wrote The Wizard of Earthsea, and I remember being quite young and loving fantasy and sci-fi books, and just everything I read was white people, or I just assumed because of the society I grew up in, my default is to go to white. But it's like there was this point where you realised none of the characters were white.
Yeah.
And I was like, some were Polynesian, some were definitely black. And it was just quite, and for a young man, and not even being political about it, it was just a revelation, because I'd never read anything with like the characters were not white. So it was just, what? And then, she sold the rights to studios, and they were like, yeah, we are absolutely going to respect every part of your vision and the ethos behind your work. And I remember watching the movie. There was one black man who was the hero's like wise mentor.
Every living thing has a secret name in which his power resides. You are Sparrowhawk. And in this young man, there's much power.
He's got the mentor.
Wasn't he played by Danny Glover?
Yep. Yeah. And that was it. Everybody, not one other black person or ethnic person in the film at all. She ripped them a new one. She didn't hold back. And I was like, yeah, go on, Ursula. I remember talking to Mallory Blackman, who did Noughts and Crosses and many, many, many other books, and lots of which have been adapted and so on. And she said this was way back in the day, and she wrote a book when the main characters were black, and the production company came back and said, we want to change them to white. And she came back and went, "Are you serious? That's not happening. No." And their response was, and when they say the word Asian in this, back then in England, Asian referred to Indian, Pakistani, Bengali, people from those regions.
Yeah.
So their response to her saying no was, "Can we at least make them Asian?"
Wow.
Like a halfway measure was all right. We could go halfway. Well, brown is better than black. I'm like, what?
We've kind of drifted into that kind of conversation, but a lot of it just depends on the amount of pull and the amount of power that you have,
Moving on, I did have some news, but I don't know if we've got.
Yeah, we've got time.
There's this complete change of a subject, and I'm a little bit confused by what I'm about to tell you. So I haven't been keeping track, but I suddenly became aware that HBO Max. So going back, talking about streaming wars now, HBO Max is kind of taking over from DC Universe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been reading about it, and I've read an article, and I came out totally confused about exactly what is happening. But they kind of whatever's happening, they're both owned by Warner Media. So, and so one of the things they did was we've got practically every DC movie, like all the way back, like Supergirl. We're talking every DC movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've announced that most of them are being taken off. This is before it's even started. They've announced that there's about 4 or 5 DC movies that will be left there. One of them being Supergirl, which is why I was like,
They'll be on HBO Max?
No, they're taking them off.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
They're leaving about 4 movies on HBO Max, and you won't be able to see them on DC Universe either because they got the deal. So I read further, and there'll be rotating superhero movies every month. So this month you might be able to see Flash and Aquaman and Supergirl. Next month you won't, but you will be able to see Justice League and whatever and whatever.
What sort of nonsense is that?
I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm sitting here going, what?
So what? So they're just gonna.
What if you invest in HBO Max because you go, well, I'd love to see all those. I'm DC to the hill. I'd love to see all those DC movies in one place. I'm gonna binge them this month. No, you're not.
But do you think they're doing that because I know this is how I watch Pennyworth, where you get like your free trial for like a week or a month or whatever, and then you basically watch everything you need to watch.
Yeah, I know. I never quite made it before my trial.
Yeah, and then you get the
episode 5 of Pennyworth, and then I ran out of trial.
And then you get the fuck out of Dodge. I wonder if that because I know a load of people kicked off when Disney Plus launched in the UK. And The Mandalorian was dropped weekly, and everyone was like, "Why are you dropping it weekly?" A, it's already out in the States, the whole thing. B, everything's been pretty much spoiled across the board anyway. So why are you not dropping it all in one go? And I believe that the reason was A, they didn't really have a lot of new content to show anyway, and B, they were worried about people doing a free trial, watching The Mandalorian, and then just getting out of Dodge.
You know what? You can't watch that free trial business when everyone knows how to download stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because I know a lot of people who go, you know what? My aim isn't to download stuff, but if you're going to make it that difficult in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like we're going back a bit.
There was a news article about someone, a caver, uncovering some underwater pool, like kind of broke in, and there was this underwater pool that hadn't been uncovered for 10,000 years or something stupid like that.
There's been a new and really cool discovery deep in Carlsbad Caverns. This pool was found recently in the Lechuguilla cave. Officials say the edges beneath the pool appear to be pool fingers, which could be bacterial colonies that have evolved without human presence. They say it was part of an exploration in October when a team was allowed to go beyond what's known as the Lake of Liquid Sky, which was discovered back in 1993.
And the only comment someone's put was, cover that shit back up. 2020 can't do with any more. Cover it up, man. No one knows what's coming out of there.
Yeah, I think any kind of archaeological dig should just be suspended until at least 2022. Don't do nothing. Don't dig up nothing. Don't translate any strange tablets or anything like that. Just leave it alone. It's been there for 4,000 years. It can wait another 6 months.
Exactly.
I've been raving on about Dr. Aphra.
Yeah.
I want to keep, Aphra.
Alpha sounds like a muesli brand.
I know. Well, I keep wanting to say Dr. Afro, which is a show I would watch.
Dr. Afro. Dr. Afro.
Dr. Afro and the Ninjas of Kathmandu.
Hangs out with his buddy Judge Dredd.
Judge Afro. So Dr. House, which is the Marvel comic with Star Wars comic, where she's a kind of a much darker kind of Indiana Jones type character. But they announced it back in April, but they're doing a audio drama.
Okay, nice.
Which gets released in July this year. So one for the audio drama fans. So I've read all 7 volumes, absolutely loved it. Yes, and you do need to get onto Dr. Aphra. It's awesome. So I'm a massive audio drama fan, so I'll be looking forward to that bad boy or bad girl when it drops.
And with that, it's time, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait. It's time.
What's wrong with
you? For the week that was.
It's blatantly Barry and not Chidi. Apart from reading.
What's that about, man?
It's time for the week that was.
Mofo.
And now all I can think about is Battle for Los Angeles. Because you've got a doppelganger in that. If anyone hasn't seen Battle for Los Angeles, it's a fun movie. Well, it's not fun. It's quite hard watching, but it's a good movie. And basically, Barry's got a great role in it. So, yeah.
It has to be said, when we watched, the first time we watched Battle for Los Angeles, Sue and I were watching it, and then the guy come in, and Sue was watching it and kind of looking at me, watching it and looking at me. And I was like, he does, doesn't he? She was like, no, he looks exactly like you. Yeah, Neo. Or Neo, I think it's the real name. Who, when you actually see a picture of him in real life, not in his Battle for LA gear, he looks less like me. Which is weird because I've never been in the military, but here you go.
Yeah. Can I do it now?
Yes.
It's time for the week that was.
I thought Chidi did it better, but here we go.
Anyway, what you got?
What have I got? I have got. I haven't spoken to you about it, but I know you've now seen all of Clone Wars.
Yes, I have.
Soon, the galaxy will be remade. The Jedi and the Republic will die.
Right, then we'll move on.
Okay. That's that.
What did you think? So this was the final season of Clone Wars, which they dropped on Disney Plus.
I remember watching Clone Wars before the final season came out. So what was the time difference between the last season and this final season?
Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. If anyone in the chat room knows, then by all means.
some years, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of years.
Yeah. And I remember at the time watching it and going, well, this is better than the prequels. And I remember thinking even the acting's better, which is quite amazing for an animation. And I think in this one, they just raised the game. Absolutely raised the game. People put it on the line right from the first story arc to the last. I was all over that. I loved it. Part of me thought it would go a little bit further, because it stopped at a certain point.
I thought. I mean, I don't want to.
I thought it was going to give us a little bit more about what happened to. I've gone blank on her name. Ahsoka between Clone Wars and the original movies. 7 years.
But I suppose you could say, yeah. Ants just said it was 7 years before the Netflix show dropped. I think you could make the argument that we get that those questions about Ahsoka gets answered in the Rebels TV show.
Yeah. But then it also makes you go, what happened to Rex?
Yeah. But I'm being careful because obviously there's people that won't have watched it yet, so I want to be careful. I thought actually the way they ended it, I didn't expect it to go. I actually, looking at it from a different point of view, I didn't expect it to go as far as it did.
Okay.
In terms of dovetailing certain things that were going on at the time in Revenge of the Sith, I was quite surprised. Also, I'll go on record, and I'm including the films in this as well. It had one of the best lightsaber fights I've seen committed to screen.
Amen, my brother.
Committed
really
to
did.
screen.
Really did.
I won't say who it's between. Well, Ahsoka's one. It's not really giving anything away. But I will say that if you've not seen it and you get to that fight scene, there's a behind-the-scenes video on YouTube which shows kind of how they put it together and stuff. And I think it's one of the first. I think it's probably the first time they've used motion capture in the show to do a lightsaber fight.
Oh, it showed.
It showed. And not just the fact that it was all the athletic stuff and all the rest of it that you come to expect from a lightsaber fight, but it was the music, it was the staging, it was the drama that led up to it before the fight even kicked off, and the drama that was going on throughout it. It was brilliant. I thought it was, and I was worried when it came back that it might have lost some of its luster. But no, it was brilliant. A few episodes in the middle I thought were a little bit weak. I think when you've only got so many episodes, I feel they kind of wasted a little bit of Ahsoka's journey. But that's just me.
I thought I liked that part of her journey, but I completely get what you say. When you haven't got that many episodes, you think it would be a bit more momentous.
Yeah.
And Ant said the final 4 episodes would make a great movie. Absolutely.
Well, the thing is, when you got to that stage, it almost felt like the tone shifted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the title credits, and again, I'm choosing my words carefully, but even the title credits were laid out differently. So it definitely felt filmic. That was fun. And the look of it as well, everything just felt different. Everything felt like they've sat in the meeting and gone, do you know what, we've got 4 episodes left. We ain't never coming back to this show again. If we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out swinging.
Yeah. No, it's quality.
So
absolute quality. Can't recommend it enough.
Nope. You're up next.
Have you heard of a TV show called Black Summer?
No, I heard you mention this on the WhatsApp group.
So I was in Belfast last year doing an acting job. And one night I was just going through Netflix and I saw Black Summer and I was like, zombies. Oh, I love a good zombie show. I watched the first episode and went, whoa, that was intense, man. That was awesome. I'm definitely coming back to that.
What's going on?
falling apart.
Lost my daughter. I need to go to the stadium.
You get out of here. We gotta make hard decisions.
And I came back to it this week. I don't know what happened, man. It's like a few months, like 6 months between the first one and the rest. I don't know why. It's only 8 episodes. The average length of an episode is 35 to 40 minutes.
No, I have heard of it, but it came out ages ago, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It completely went past me.
When did it? I'm just trying to see when it came out. April the 11th, 2019. So a year ago. Just over a year ago. So, have you seen World War Z? With Brad Pitt?
I've seen it, and I've played the game.
Right, so it's set in the same world. It's by the same production company.
Oh, as in it's a shared universe with World War Z?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, I didn't know that.
It has got absolutely nothing to do with the story of World War Z.
Yeah.
It's a different part of the world. I haven't seen World War Z. I want to see it now.
It's a good film. I liked that. I like that film.
So same production company, which should say something.
Mm-hmm.
Different part of the world. They don't connect at all. This is like pretty much as the zombie outbreak is happening, as it's starting out. Because I think World War Z happens a bit later.
Okay.
Jimmy says the audiobook is amazing. It's like a radio show.
What, as in, is it sorry?
For World War Z.
Oh, so it's an audio drama. You're gonna have to hook me up with a link to that, then, Jimmy. I want to check that out.
So what I love, so I started watching it and I was like, so what's happening? And it basically follows a man and a woman and their daughter, and they're trying to get out of Dodge basically because the city's gone to shit. And the military are taking people to a stadium where there's going to be a military evacuation, but there's a big fence across half the city, and they're turning lots of people back, and basically they're like, take our daughter. And so they take their daughter and they think, we've got to find our way there now. But while you're following these people, they'll be driving and they look out the window and they see a couple running, and you just think nothing, and they kind of keep going and you think nothing of it. And then it just goes black and another title comes up, and then it will cut to those two people running, and you start to follow their story. And they may encounter someone else or see someone else, and then it cuts to their story. So it's cutting to various different stories.
Does it cut back to the stories as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then and each episode does this, and they've got completely different stories, but they're intertwined because they kind of encounter each other in one way or another. And eventually, that at some point they're all going to kind of meet up together. Except that you don't know that because you got no idea who's making it out the episode.
Really?
This show is harsh, and it's like, this could be the love of your life, yeah? And if they go down, no one's waiting. Because these zombies are fast.
Yeah, I remember this from the film. They could chip.
And they're persistent.
Yeah.
They're persistent. They will track you. And there was one guy who was in the first episode, and he was a bit useless, yeah? He was... By the last episode, I was like, this guy has learnt how to run. My boy has learnt the meaning of the word fear.
Oh, yeah, man.
And he is... And let me tell you, B, the last episode, yeah? So the last episode is like, whoever's left, and the people have met along the way, they go, right, they've managed to get loads of weapons, and they go, right, when we open this door, it's a 1 mile hard push to the stadium. Are you ready? Let's go. Can you name me a crazy, mad, full-on first-person shooter?
Oh God! Not first person.
Or it's a game or someone you can play with others where you're going around.
Yeah, World. Oh no, there's World War Z, or which is what Ants mentioned. But we had Left 4 Dead. That's the one. Because that's a zombie game, and it's first person. You can play 4 people. Me, Ant, and Amy, and Meji used to play it.
The last episode is basically that.
Oh, okay.
Because you're like, it's like they emerge trying to get to the stadium, and suddenly lots of other people you've never seen before at all trying to get to the stadium. They've all got guns. They've all been through shit, and you think, and then it just basically the next 20 minutes is just pure, like it's like you're watching gameplay,
Right.
and it's like if you fall behind, done. If you get taken down, no one's coming back. It's like, no, it's too desperate. It's too desperate. I literally sitting there. I was sitting there gripping my stick. I can't take this. I can't take this. It's too much, man. It's too much. I can't take it. It's intense. It's intense. Seriously, I loved it. I loved it from beginning to end. And the last episode just went boom. There's some flaws. You watch it and you go, well, that was a bit weird. But you get past that because the execution's just
Yeah.
great.
Okay. That's Netflix.
Netflix.
And it's 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Black Summer.
Black Summer. Okay.
And I was watching it. I couldn't sleep. I watched 3 episodes last night, and it was a bit. And I'm just going. I forwarded it 10 seconds because I can't deal with the tension. The tension's good.
So just to stop you. So Jimmy said he keeps hearing good things about Black Summer. He's also said watch Kingdom on Netflix, Korean zombie series. Jimmy, we've been all over Kingdom, man, all over that show. That is not only is that one of the best zombie shows, it's one of the best shows on Netflix as far as I'm concerned.
So good, Jimmy, so good.
It's just so good.
그러게 아무래도 무슨 큰 일이 벌어진 것 같습니다.
죽은 사람들이 괴물이 돼서 살아났습니다. 이제 곧 깨어납니다. 아저씨!
상주가 뚫리면 이 나라 모든 곳에 역병이 퍼질 것이다. 막아야 한다.
세자는요?
그 일을 방해하는 자들 모두 죽일 것이다.
그 불의와 싸워서 이기시는 것만이 대의를 바로 세우시는 길입니다.
조학조의 반응이 크게 달했습니다. 도와주십시오.
I've been on a bit of a zombie thing because I rewatched Train to Busan.
I still haven't seen.
I had forgotten how good that.
How you watch it? Did Bucky hook you up with it?
No, I paid for it on Amazon.
What? I know. Motherfucker said he paid for it.
Not only that, I paid for the prequel, which is animated.
Nah, get out of here, man. Wow. Okay. Sorry for anyone that is listening. For Dave Monteith to pay money, right? I'm not talking about a streaming service, but for him to actually pay money to buy like a film, I'm all over it. Then.
Yeah, mate.
No. Jimmy's saying if you have Amazon Prime.
No, I had to pay for it on Prime.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Prime because I looked.
It's there, but you got to pay for it. But I think you could rent it for like $1.99.
Oh, okay. But Jimmy's saying it's free, but that could be a US thing, though.
Yeah. But no, I'm loving it, man. Train to Busan, Kingdom, Black Summer. Do you know what I mean? Walking Dead, what's that? I've forgotten that, man. Black Summer, and they've just announced that they are doing a season 2, which, given how season 1 ended, is welcome.
Of Black Summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just, man, I can't. Black Summer.
So, another show I want to mention because I think you've seen this. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Upload.
I'm about 3 episodes in, I think.
Okay. So, can you remember what the premise is for it?
So the premise is that they have created a virtual world, and they have created sort of heaven, if you like. Different companies have created different ones, and we have the ability now on your deathbed to upload your consciousness into this sort of digital world. And it's so, like, you can even attend your own funeral. because you can get a link up and you can use your phone. You can still call people in the real world. So you're physically dead, but intellectually you're still around. And it follows this guy who's got this girlfriend who he gets into an accident which shouldn't have happened, and his girlfriend convinces him to be upload before he dies. And it's just really harsh actually, because his girlfriend actually controls his finances, so he can't even buy stuff in that world.
It's just harsh.
It's terrible. Basically, and it's like, and actually, if that's heaven, do you know what I mean? You could cut me off.
So I've watched all of it now. Soon I watched it over a weekend, and a couple of my takeaways were that I don't believe that show would have happened without The Good Place.
Yeah.
Which isn't a diss on the show at all, but I think The Good Place kind of
opened the door.
It's opened the door for that sort of different kind of thinking. B, if I got a choice between going to The Good Place, hanging out with
yourself
and Michael and Ellen and all that lot, it isn't even a competition, because if that's what heaven is, in all seriousness, God, if you're listening, probably not. Do you know what I mean? But if you are, I don't want any part of it, man. I'm not interested.
Nope,
soulless don't even come close, man. Because it's effectively it's basically like being on the internet.
There's a bit where some guy diving into the pool, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, there's too many people on the system at the moment. It's got a bit digital," because it's like it's like it had a bit of a glitch.
But the thing that you realise as you go on, and I don't know how far you've got, because I can't remember when that bit gets introduced, but it's his idea that obviously because his girlfriend is comes from a wealthy family, so they're all ridiculously wealthy, where he is top of the tree in terms of offerings and all the rest of it, blah blah. But then you see what you get where you haven't got a lot of money,
right?
And it's this level called 2 gig level, where basically all you can afford is 2 gigs a month. So he's got unlimited. So it's the same. So if you think about broadband, do you think you've got your unlimited broadband, and you got them suckers that are still on 512k dial up or something? It's that sort of thing.
Oh,
and when you get to that episode where you see what 2 gig is like, you thought it was bad before. Nothing compared to what they got, man.
Why would you like that? Why would you want that?
Well, just no. But also as well, I think like The Good Place does, I think I didn't laugh. I didn't find it as funny as The Good Place.
No, not even.
I found this. I think what I realised, that this is more. I'd put it more in that comedy drama box.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing where it's almost like a bit of a murder mystery, what else is going on. So it is a little bit. So it's. You go in thinking it's going to be like The Good Place, so you're going with that mindset. But then as you start watching, you realise it is slightly different. And then certain things get revealed as it goes on and stuff. But I did enjoy it. But as I said, I was looking for something that was going to be more kind of laugh out loud funny.
I know there's not much out there like that at the moment.
No, it's because the world's broken.
Well, there we go. There we go. Remind me, have I talked about Stargirl on the show? I can't remember.
No.
I've been watching Stargirl.
Okay.
So
good for you.
Thank you.
Starman, are you there? Starman!
The Justice Society must live on. Someone with honor must carry the torch.
I know this has been difficult. The move and a new stepfather, but we're gonna make a good life.
Hey, sorry, that's just real delicate.
What are you?
It's the cosmic staff. It's extremely temperamental. The staff's not supposed to work for anyone except Starman.
This has to be the reason the staff lit up. The staff chose me, and I choose you.
I never thought there'd be another Starman.
Stargirl.
Part of the reason I wanted to give it a go was because it's it's kind of got that DC universe. It's kind of got that CW feel for it, and I'm not up for another CW show, but it's kind of a CW DC universe hybrid, and I love the DC universe shows. Love them. And I was talking to a guy who was in the art department for Stargirl, and he was like, you know what, it's a real passion project for Jeff Johns, because the character Stargirl he created based on his sister who died in a plane crash. And so he's, you know, part of the show running team. So it's a real passion project for it, and he's invested it. It's a good family show. It's worth a shot. So I thought I'll give it a shot. Watched the first episode. Really enjoyed it, actually.
Okay.
So Siobhan and I were watching it, and we watched 3 episodes now. And I said, I looked at her face and I went, do you want to quit? No, you don't look like you're into it. And yes, I do know. I remember talking to the guy. Amy said, you know this, Dave, he told us about his sister at Bristol. And I said, yeah. And I remember asking him, what is it like to create a character based on your sister who's dead, and then, because it's comics, having to hand that over to another creative team? That's got to be quite hard, you know, giving that creation over. So I thought it was quite interesting. I also bought him a Guinness and Black, which is Guinness with blackcurrant in. He didn't like it. He pretended he did, but I knew better. And so, but they've done some really nice touches in the show. So, like the girl, Courtney, that's his sister's name, and she's Stargirl. She's in her bedroom, and she's got loads of pictures on the wall of herself sitting on the bench with a friend, and the friend is actually Jeff John's sister, and they photoshopped them together.
Okay.
So got lots of little things like that. But you think about it, it's just like, oh man, that's just. So I'm watching the show, and it's decent. It's all right. That's it. I said to Siobhan, do you want to quit? And she goes, we watch a lot of other stuff that's much better written and much better acted. She goes, but I'm enjoying it and I want to keep watching it. So make of that what you will.
Yeah.
The only thing is, so the Stargirl character is just annoying me because she don't listen.
Oh.
She don't listen. And I'm like, I get it. You're trying to be that spunky firebrand. You go, let's go for it. He goes, yeah. And I like that. But it's like, the dude is saying to her, these people, they killed the entire Justice Society of America. So we need to have a plan. I got a plan. We go, we find them, we kick their asses. That's not a plan. That's not a plan. And I'm like, just listen for what? And she's like, and something terrible happens. And she's still not listening. And I'm sitting there going, I like this show. But I'm just like, I want to get in the TV and just shake her.
Is she gonna annoy me though if I start to watch it?
It's quite possible. But I am loving it, and she's got this staff, and I like the way it works. And you know, I'm a DC guy, so I recognize names and all sorts of stuff. So I'm loving it for that. And when they go to the hall that Justice Society of America used to be in, and you see all these pictures, and I'm just like, yeah. And she picks up this pen, and I know what that pen's about. I'm like, don't touch a pen. Oh, too late. There we go. So I'm really enjoying it. I do recommend it, but keep in mind it has still got that CW-ness about it.
Okay.
And she can be a bit annoying, but I'm only talking about it because I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. It's the end of the show, and you know the deal. Check out the website geeksyndicate.co.uk, and as usual, get online and let us know if you agree with us, if you think we're talking nonsense. Don't hold back and let us know what you're thinking, and you can do it by emailing us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk, or find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram. Go do it now. Until next time, Geek Syndicate,
we out.
out.
Cheaty out.
Why?
Cheaty out.